Oh boy, this sure looks promising. Apparently, people don't go hill anymore. Oh, 140 is covering the low ground down the 2 line, which is, or sorry, 3 line, which is interesting. Normally you wouldn't see a medium go down there. Well, I say normally, I mean normally 5 years ago. I don't know what the fuck the meta is anymore. I haven't played this game for so long. All I can say is I am not what I once was, and I was never especially good to begin with. I mean, being better than average on the NA server really did not mean you were good, it just meant you were less bad than everyone else. I really don't know how the game's changed. There's a lot of new tanks, there's a lot of new maps, there's a lot of changes to the way people play the existing maps. Now, from memory, I should be arty safe here. Should be. That thing's turret, I'm pretty sure, is close to impenetrable for me. Oh shit. Looks like Sofi's not having a good time on the 9 line. So, this is going to really expose me to arty in the low road. And even back in the day, this was a bad idea, but we kind of need to get some momentum happening here, so I'm going to push around with these guys. Hopefully not get shot in the side by the Fatten, who's trying to do the wrong thing by shooting over the side there. That is a really bad idea. You never try and shoot over the side. That's how you get killed by arty. For fuck's sake. And getting killed by the Object 430U is what I'm doing. We have nobody really in a position to check him. But we have cleared the hill at least. He's still there. Didn't really have much hope of penning him at that angle. Okay. He's looking at... No, he's not looking at me. Okay, good. No way. That was never gonna pen. Okay, I'm just gonna back off. Need to get off the hill and actually do something. Our team's pretty much rolled this. I don't know why these guys are holding back so much. They should just be pushing into the enemy base. There's nothing really to stop them from doing it. Gotta get used to the driving physics again, since they have changed them dramatically since last time I played. Well, since last time I played in any decent amount. It's going to be a really low damage game for me. I threw away a lot of hit points to do not a whole lot of damage. But thankfully the rest of my team was a bit more competent than me. And it's over. Sofi got work done. I sure didn't. I really cannot say this enough. I would so much rather have my old tier 10 Object 430 than the 430U. The 430 line was perfectly good. Like, perfectly good. It was well balanced. They were solid tanks if you had the skills to play them. They were more different than the T-62 compared to the Object 140. Like, it was a perfect line, and yet here we go, and we've ended up with this. This isn't a bad tank, it's just not a good tank. It's a better armoured 121, really. That's all it is. There's not much to it. I would much prefer to have the older 430. Fuck am I scrolling past? There we go. And talking about the Object 430 itself, after moving it down to Tier 9, it is now literally a worse Wheezy 120. The only real advantage it has in terms of is in terms of armor. Its gun is terrible. It's a fucking atrocious gun. It's a D25T, a tank or a gun, sorry, that appears around Tier 6, and it's in a Tier 9 medium. Even though it has better AP shells, so it kind of sort of works, you've still only got 390 alpha instead of the 440 of the Wheezy 120's gun. You've got the same atrocious gun handling, so really you gain nothing from it. It's just a bad trade, a really, really bad trade. And now, especially with the Centurion, the Fattens, Type 61, there's a lot of medium tanks at Tier 9 with high pen guns with good handling that do the same alpha. Like, 390 alpha at Tier 9 is not high alpha for a medium, it's slightly above average. I would take 330 alpha and 264 pen with good handling over the D25T any day. And in most cases, I'd even take it over the Wheezy 120's gun, and I like the Wheezy 120's gun. It is a good gun, but it's just, I don't know. It's like they thought that, oh, we have 3 Tier 10 Soviet mediums, and people say they're all the same, so let's take the one that is the least the same out of the 3, and just make it into a worse copy of what the Chinese have. Like, they supposedly did it to add variety and make the gameplay more interesting. It does literally the opposite. I probably shouldn't be doing this. This is a really bad idea. This is a really bad idea. This is a fucking terrible idea. This doesn't work anymore, apparently. This used to be a really good way to get spots on the other team early in the game. But my team is not really in support here. Yeah, no, this isn't the smart play it once was. And I'm in the wrong tank anyway. The Object 430 does this better because it's much better camouflaged. And it had a faster firing gun. Not anymore. At least I do have some support though. Might just poke my head up, see if I can proxy anything, or at least get some spotting in. There we go. Yep, guess that doesn't work anymore. It always worked better coming from the other side anyway, to be quite honest. Like, I would usually not push north, I would push south from the north spawn, and that would work, but I don't know, like I said, the way that people play the game has changed. It hasn't changed enough. You still see people rushing Valley on Lakeville. This game has been out for 8 years? Yeah, 8 years. 8 years this May, I think it is. And yet, people still rush Valley on Lakeville. It's been in, like, if you count the people that play closed beta, it's been out for 9 years, and they still don't know. But a lot of the stuff that used to work just doesn't anymore because of the way the mechanics have changed. Like, this map hasn't really changed, but the mechanics have. And the balance has changed as well, because you never really used to see an entire third to a half of a team being tank destroyers that could cloak up from the other side of the map and like kill any tank in 2 or 3 shots. I really, really, really resent the fact that people kept complaining about Artie even after, you know, they were told just don't sit still in the open. Because all the people who used to complain about Artie the worst, like Garbat, would literally rush into an exposed position way overextended. This is how Garbat used to play, right? And this is how he got such a high win rate, because he usually played with somebody that would support him. So you rush into a really forwards, aggressive position where you have good shots and you can spot lots of people, but you're really exposed. And so, yeah, if you do that, you're going to get hit by Artie over and over again. It's going to be disproportionately the thing that kills you, because you're not in Artie cover and you're not moving enough. But because he started complaining, and pubbies who typically sit in the open or sit behind a rock but not fully in cover, they started complaining, oh, Artie's so overpowered, Artie kills me all the time. Or they get like confirmation bias because they get one shot by a lucky AP shot from a T92 once, and they'd be like, oh, Artie's OP. So they instead changed artillery, so now it doesn't have AP ammo and it stun locks. So it's actually even worse than it was before. It's more annoying. It doesn't even have to hit you to stun lock you. Like, it can do no damage, literally no damage to your tank. Not even damage a module, and you'll still get stunned. Which is just unbearable. It's awful. And the problem that was already in the game, and which was constantly getting worse, which is high-tier tank destroyers that either have ridiculous armor or ridiculous camo or some sort of middle ground of the two, that can just sit on the other side of the map pounding out fucking 700, 800, 900, 1,000 alpha shots. That's half a tier 10 tank in one shot on a low roll. And they always pen, they usually hit, and a lot of them, even after they fire their guns, you won't see them. And even if you do see them, some of them, you can't retaliate because their frontal armor is so thick. Like, especially if you look at something like the 268-4 or whatever it is, the new 268 with the rear casemate. Thing is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. It's just... it's so strong from the front. If that thing has its front pointed at you, which it does if it's just shot you, you have to be either really lucky or have a really good gun and probably some gold rounds to have much hope of retaliating against it. It's just... I don't know who thought that would be a fun gameplay mechanic, but it kind of shows. It really shows how the game plays now when you see... I want to say probably half of the tier 10 matches I've had since I've started playing this again over the past few months have been half the team are tier 10 tank destroyers. Literally half the team. That is far worse than it ever was before. You would never see half a team of tank destroyers. You would never see half a team of artillery. Like, the balance is worse now in terms of matchmaking than it was, if you discount tiers, than it was in 2010. And that sounds really, like, over the top, but it's not. Because if you take out the whole issue of tiers being imbalanced, because you didn't have your +2 matchmaking back then, yeah, you might see 4 or 5 Type 59s on a team, but that's fine. 4 or 5 medium tanks is not a big deal. 4 or 5 1,000 alpha guns with high camo and or armor is seriously a big thing. And because TDs do play so defensively, most of them, it causes the entire play of the game to shift to be more geared towards turtling for the entire match and just waiting for people to peter out into the open one at a time and get deleted. Whereas at least when you had a really heavy bias towards mediums and heavies, the game was dynamic. People would move. You would see flanks get pushed by a group of 3 or 4 or 5 mediums at the opening of the game. You wouldn't see this shit where people just turtle down as long as they can and pick each other off as something spots them. I don't know, it's like... it's a small change in the grand scheme of things, but it's a change that has such a massive impact, it doesn't even feel like I'm playing World of Tanks anymore. It doesn't feel like the same game that I used to play in 2013 and 14. And this is a large part of the reason why I don't play this game anymore. You know, occasionally I'd come back to it and play it for a day or two and be like, yeah, I want to get back into this. And by the time I was done, I couldn't. I just didn't want to. Because, you know, I've got all my nice nostalgic memories of how it used to be, especially platooning up with other goons. So we'd have, like, me and Primal and Hardest or Hellsaw or Frozen Treat or any of them, and we'd play really aggressively in medium tanks. Like, we would fucking rush people at the start of the game and just swarm them. That was fun. Or we'd take 3 E100s and just roll a flank together. That was fun. You can't do that anymore. I'm just glad that of all the stupid changes they've made to the game, they didn't end up going ahead with, or at least haven't yet gone ahead with, the big medium nerf that they wanted to do, where they were planning to drastically reduce the penetration of all medium tank guns so that they could not frontally engage a heavy or even another well-armoured medium. And nerf their view range as well. I think they did nerf the view range of some mediums, but like, that is such a bad idea. I don't know what to play here. I really do not know what to play. I think I might take the 4-3-2. I'm terrible at this thing. I have no idea how to play it. Makes me sad that Armoured Warfare died and the Dota's actually had an interesting balance and engaging mobile gameplay. I didn't play Armoured Warfare for very long. I got really excited for it because they were going to put the T-64 in game. And I wanted the T-64 and I wanted a Chieftain. And I got the T-64. It was like a tier 3 tank and it was crap. So, I don't know. It was alright, but it didn't really grab me. And this is back when I used to play a lot of World of Tanks too, so it's not like I was over the whole free-to-play tanks game thing by then. I just didn't really get into it. And there was a bunch of political drama that kind of turned me off it as well, involving their hiring choices for community managers. I don't want to turn my stream into a witch hunt, so that's probably the last I'll say on that. But suffice to say, I was falsely accused of doing something rather serious to somebody because they didn't like that I called them out for their shitty behavior on the World of Tanks forums, and that person then ended up in a pretty prominent position in the Armoured Warfare, in the community, I guess. They were an employee, but they were pretty highly placed. So that turned me right off because I just felt like having to put up with that and the kind of environment that that person liked to foster, as well as, you know, just the disappointment that the tanks I really wanted weren't very good, killed my interest. And like I said, at the time I was still playing World of Tanks, and World of Tanks back then clicked with me quite well. That was back when I still played regularly, and I want to say I was good at the game, because I wasn't, but I was, like, less bad than most people. I'd kind of found my groove, which I've now thoroughly lost. Yeah, that was never going to hit. Surprised that I didn't get shot at there. Oh shit! Oh no! Always watch where you're driving. Okay. Got away with that one, barely. Oh wow. That was a lucky bounce. That wasn't a bounce, but oh well. Gotta be careful I don't expose myself too much here. I don't really have a good instinctive feel for the height of my tank over ground anymore, so... I was wondering how long that would take. So there's our wonderful 12-second cruise stun. The stun mechanic, like, a lot of bad choices have been made and a lot of dumb shit has been implemented in this game over the years, but artillery stunning is absolutely the worst decision wargaming ever made in this game. It was just so stupid. I would rate that as being a worse decision than including the Waffenträger E100, and that was the most broken thing I've ever seen. Not just in this game, that was probably the most broken thing I've ever seen introduced to any game. I cannot believe that tank made it off super test, let alone public beta. And then went for so long without being removed from the game. But this artillery stunning, like, the Waffenträger E100 was just imbalanced and awful to fight against, but artillery stun is just unfun. It really fucks up the pace of the game. It punishes aggressive play. I mean, it punishes defensive play. It just punishes in general. It's shit. I'm just gonna scoot up in front of this guy and hope he doesn't fire his gun. They've lost their active scout over here, at least, unless they got a medium pushed up. See how far I can get up here without being lit. Oh, I got spotted there. There we go. Good riddance. This thing is so fast. I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted. If I was in the second row of bushes, I could get away with this. Fuck it. Yeah, I knew that would happen. Whatever, I got some passable spotting damage in, I guess. Not real good, but passable. Especially any penetrating hit will insta-kills. I'm stuck in the M60 line. Yeah, War Thunder's damage mechanics are kind of fucky. Especially, it's worse in arcade. In RB, it's not as noticeable, but APDS ammo in particular is basically like throwing marshmallows at someone, because even though it'll penetrate every single time, it barely fragments and it rarely hits any interior modules. So you can put like 5 to 6 rounds into a tank before it actually disables it, which is ridiculous. Even in RB, it might still need 2 or 3, which is just stupid. And then you've got the Germans and the Soviets with their APHE filler, so one penetrating shot from either of those will kill you every single goddamn time. War Thunder's ground forces have come so far since they first released them. Like, I used to really quite strongly dislike them. The tanks felt really skatey and weird. The weapons feedback was non-existent. The feedback's still kind of weird, but they've fixed it with the whole terminal effect camera thing, so you can at least gauge what's going on with your hits, even if the netcode isn't real good. Before they had that camera, it was atrocious. You couldn't tell if you hit someone, you couldn't tell if you penetrated them, you couldn't tell why you'd been knocked out. Like, it wasn't until they added that feature I realized that Gaijin did actually model shell fragments ricocheting off the ground and, like, up into the belly of your tank. I just assumed that there was desync because I'd seen a round land in the dirt in front of me and then I blew up. So, Gaijin have really sorted a lot of issues out, but they still haven't fixed some of the core ones. And actually, one of War Thunder's worst crimes is its fucking economy. I mean, World of Tanks has a pretty bad economy too, it always has, but War Thunder's economy is just a nightmare. I hate it. I really hate grinding in War Thunder, worse than I ever hated grinding in this game. See, this is what I mean about static gameplay. As soon as the scouts are dead, and the aggressive medium players are dead, there's just nothing. Nobody wants to push because nobody wants to get spotted by a T-30. Well, I mean, the T-30's always been a thing, but nobody wants to get spotted by either of the big gun TDs. Nobody wants to get schwacked by Arty. And because they've been playing this new Tier 10 TD meta for so long, like, this turtle mindset has just sunk in. Despite the tech trees, at least for the US, as the top tier tanks are behind the heavy line, and you're fucked if you went up the medium line. There isn't any horizontal movement. Yeah. It's just annoying. And things like having to research a certain number of vehicles in a particular era to progress to the next one is really, it's just irritating. Like, I don't want to research heavy tanks. I don't care. I'm not interested in playing heavy tanks. I'm not interested in playing tank destroyers in War Thunder. I'm not interested in driving anti-aircraft vehicles, except for the Soviet ones, because they're actually good. I just want my fucking medium tanks and my MBTs, but you've got to fucking research everything all the way up the tree, which is a really shitty and kind of obvious way of forcing players to play the game way more than they ought to have to, just to grind a single vehicle they want. It's Gaijin's way of looking at World of Tanks, where you can just beeline straight down a tree and ignore everything else on that national line. And they've gone, how can we eke the most amount of playtime out of people in our game if they're only interested in getting a couple of tanks? I know. Let's make it so that every couple of vehicles you have to research across the entire fucking national tech tree just to go up to the next of the same thing you're already driving. And then they reshuffle it. Like, they'll move tanks in era, so suddenly, oh look, that tank I was one decent match from unlocking that I've wanted for years and just couldn't be asked to grind towards until now, has been moved behind a fucking barrier that I have to research another 5 vehicles to actually pass. It's just obscene. It's weird as hell how the M1 goes after the M103 and not the M60. The other downside is that most Vics have very little practical use. Light armor vehicles are pointless unless they have an extremely powerful gun to go with. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's certain lights that can survive without a Doom cannon. The object... my brain is failing me right now. The object... What is it? The fucking... PT-85. whatever the design designation for the PT-85 was, that thing is just incredible because it's fast, it's relatively low to the ground, and it can float. So you can get into places where nobody expects to find it. And it's got a fast-firing gun, but it's not a big gun, it's just fast-firing. That's good, but it's also very difficult to play, which is why I don't play mine as much. Part of the problem as well is that there's no matchmaking filters in World of Tanks because Wargaming have always been in the position they don't want to do ranked matchmaking because it reduces the available player pool and it fosters shitty behavior in the community. Like, your game already fosters shitty behavior in the community. They've disabled all chat specifically because of how toxic this game gets. Because actual teamwork is very rare and people just fuck each other over, and it's very frustrating. But yeah, they never wanted matchmaking based on skill. They never wanted matchmaking where you could exclude maps from rotation because then you've got a smaller pool and there's only so many maps in rotation on the server at any one time anyway. So if you happen to exclude all but one, you're going to get maybe a match every hour. And then forget about excluding by vehicles. It's taken that long for any wargaming title, as being World of Warships, to actually put restrictions on what vehicles can and can't be brought into a match together. World of Tanks has done it. They finally made it so you can't platoon outside your own tier. That took them, 7 years or something to do, because it's only recently been added to the game. And they put restrictions, they had restrictions for a long time on how many ARTI you could have per team, but ARTI was never the fucking problem. And this is what I've tried to get across to people, literally since 2013, 14, somewhere in there. Artillery was annoying as shit, yeah, and it sucked to get hit by, it sucked to play against, but it wasn't the fucking problem. It was fucking tank destroyers. Tank destroyers, static gameplay, and maps that encourage static gameplay. Maps in War Thunder are just awful. Yeah, they're fucking atrocious. No thought into actual design of the maps. They look nice, but the positions can be very tilted to one side. That's not even mentioning weather or the fucking sun. The placement of the fucking sun in War Thunder, ground or air, but especially air, is a balance factor. It should be a balance factor. If you're going to have the sun behind one team, you need something else to give the other team an offset. Because otherwise, the team with the sun at their backs has an automatic advantage for the entire match, which you can't counteract. You can only ameliorate the sun glare effect so far. I had to do some pretty intensive work on my post-processing settings for War Thunder, and that didn't even fix it. It's still blinding to be looking into the sun. Either do what Wargaming have done in a lot of maps and put the sun in a neutral position along the center of the map, and even then it's still an advantage to whoever figures out where the sun is and puts that behind them, but at least it's balanced. Or just make the maps overcast, or something or noon, it's simple shit. It shouldn't take a fucking degree to tell you that the sun is a balance factor, and it will bias the map to one team or the other. That is common dogfuck. Everyone knows that. It's a self-evident fucking truth. And yet, Gaijin are clueless. I'm gonna get shot doing this. At least I critted him. Yeah, there's me getting shot. And there's me losing my gun depression. Oh, why the fuck have I gone south? What the fuck am I doing? Actually, this might work. Oh, no, this won't work. They've changed this map just enough that I can't tell where I'm going anymore. Didn't realise I was rushing out in front of the entire team, or I wouldn't have come down here, and I wouldn't have chased that ELC. And yeah, North's getting rolled because I didn't go there. Oops. Spawns on both air and ground are bad too. Ground spawns often have positions where the enemy team can camp you in cover while you spawn in the open. Yeah, and after that big fucking thing they had where they wanted to make spawn killing harder, didn't work, because the problem with spawn killing is that people get into positions where they can fucking see into the other team's spawn from across the map. Shit, I kinda let Stormer die there. And you can't do anything about them. You can't get out of spawn, because you're in a bowl, basically, you're exposed the whole time. You can't effectively fire back at them, because often they're hull down to you, or turret down. It's just such a shitty fucking situation. Wow, I'm impressed that hit. That was really badly aimed too, that should have gone into the dirt. I feel so bad. Like, normally I would have been up supporting where Stormer was, but because I wasn't paying attention and I forgot how this map's laid out, I went to completely the wrong spot. This gun is so bad. I want my fucking U8TS back. That was... The U8TS, I'm gonna go on record as saying it, and I've said it before. Fuck me. The U8TS was hands down the single best medium tank gun in the game, and an argument could be made that it was the best gun in the game, pound for pound. It was so good. Oh look, the Carnarvon's done a sneaky. Let's see how that works out for him. Can I hang my tank over to shoot him without getting myself killed? Probably not. But let's try anyway. He's looking at me. He's looking at me. Oh, don't slip! Don't... Oh, fuck me. Oh, fuck's sake. That was not what I intended. Oh my god, come on. Came into that with way too much momentum. And then auto-aimed, because I'm a bad. So I just bounced off his upper hull. Okay, I'm gonna loop back through mid. Because thankfully the rest of my team are better at this game than I am. If you go back and watch like my old World of Tanks videos from back when I used to play this, you would swear it's not the same person. Especially with how much I bitched about other people being bad at the game and doing dumb shit, and now it's me. I'm the puppy. And now I've got an unspotted Waffenträger Panzer IV, which will one-shot me if he so much as sneezes in my direction, even with HE. 1200 damage game in this thing. Fucking shameful. Oh, he's gonna get in cover. Yep. Might just be able to tap him. Come on. Come forwards. Come forwards. Come forwards. He ain't going to. Ooh, the scent might have a shot at me in a sec. No, he won't. $1,600 damage in a tier 9 medium. I used to play this, like, pretty much daily. Used to. And now it's like maybe for 2 hours every 6 months to a year before I get sick of it. It's just changed too much. It's not fun like it used to be. Especially because they've sabotaged one of my favourite tanks in the game. Like, this was, hands down, one of my favourite tanks in the game, by far, and they've just fucked it by putting this piece of shit gun on it. Like, if they put the T-54's gun on it, it would be actually still really good. You'd have to play it a little more carefully because you don't have the pen, but it would still be good. But, nope. Let's give it a tank more fitting a tier 6 or 7 heavy. That can't hit a target from a stop from more than 100 meters away. That even if it does hit, is not accurate enough to hit somewhere it'll pen. And even if it does pen, does 390 damage, which is just at this tier. It's nothing. And that's the thing, okay, so that's the distinction between the way they've made this tank now and the WoT 120. This tank is still better than the WoT 120 in terms of camouflage and armor, like much better, but that doesn't really matter because it has no capability to defend itself because it doesn't have the same mobility it used to, or at least it doesn't feel like it. And it has a shitty gun that's slow firing, inaccurate, and relatively low pen, and, you know, pretty ordinary alpha. The WoT 120's gun is hideously inaccurate and slow firing, but it is really high alpha for a medium tank. 440 alpha is high for a heavy at tier 9, let alone a medium. So with a WoT 120 you could actually scare people, like as a lone medium tank you could scare people into avoiding a position. You could lock down something like this bowl here, which is a critical part of the map. If you control this bowl, you have really good shots along this entire flank. Used to be able to hold this down with a single WoT 120. If I try and hold it down with this tank, people just push me because they know I can't stop them. I don't have the high damage, high pen gun to do it. And I don't have the mobility to get myself out of trouble anymore. And even though I've got good armor, it's just not going to hold up. Especially if I get surrounded and rushed. Oh, here comes one. And bounce because hideously inaccurate. He didn't even hit me. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. I'm not as good at knife fighting in mediums as I once was. There goes my extinguisher. Okay. Well, I fended him off and now I'm gonna die anyway. It's a fucking super conqueror down here. A fucking super conqueror in the bowl. Oh yeah, I see why, because our team just folded. We've got... what have we got here? He's sitting all the way back here. The Progetto at least pushed in, but he's gonna die for it. And then... all these guys went east. East on Serene Coast, by the way, is a puppy trap. Don't go east. Going east on this map is a great way to lose, because the west gets rolled, and the west is the part of this map that actually matters. This is some, like, 2011 wisdom I'm dropping here. This is shit people knew in 2011. You never push east on fucking Serene Coast. You send, like, 2 TDs to block the exit, because they physically cannot get off this eastern area without crossing that bridge. Physically cannot do it, so you just block the bridge. And then concentrate all your force in the west. You push a couple tanks through the fucking arch here, and have at least one or two mediums holding the bowl just to deny it to the enemy, and then late game to pop up behind them as they try and push through the arch and shoot them in the back. This is like archaic fucking wisdom. And yet, here we go in the year 2019 with people trying to push east on Serene Coast. And the mediums hanging back from the bowl because they're scared. And me managing to fuck up a knife fight with another medium of the same type. I used to be so good at that. I used to, you kind of push and pull them with the corner of your tank. Like, you ram the front corner in and use that to try and... You pull back to bait them into turning, or push forwards to try and edge them around, just so you can get enough angle on the side of their tank to punch through, while showing them mostly frontal armor. Can't do it anymore. And it's kind of hard in the 430 anyway, because these shoulders here, like this shoulder, it's really well sloped, but it's 40 millimeters thick. So if you give them this kind of angle, especially if they're looking down on you, they'll just punch straight through it like it's not even there. Like, this thing's still a workable tank, but it's not a good tank anymore. This was a really solid, strong tier 10 medium. This was probably, I'd say, one of the best of the tier 10s. Not just mediums, but one of the best of the tier 10s. It had the best concealment of any tier 10 tank. It had good mobility, better than it does now. I'm pretty certain, I'm fairly certain, I think I did a stats comparison on it when they first changed it. It had the best medium tank gun in the game, and a gun you could make a case for being the best in the game. And it had decent view range. Like, this was just an all-round good tank, and it's nice and squat and hard to hit, and it does have, like, it doesn't have the best armor, but it has really well-sloped armor. And now it's got this piece of shit gun. And this thing, like, the Object 430 never had good gun handling. It had the worst accuracy with the U8TS out of the 3 Soviet tier 10 mediums. But that's the thing, the U8TS was such an accurate gun and such a fast-firing gun with such good pen. You didn't need the best accuracy, you just needed serviceable accuracy. And its shell velocity was so high, you could auto-aim someone from across the map, snapshot them, and you would connect and usually pen. Like, it was such a good gun for a medium tank because you could react to things instantly. And you didn't have to worry about careful shot placement. Like, a lot of people would hold that as a thing of, that's why it needs to be nerfed or something, but it had lower alpha than the other medium tank guns at its tier. So it's got that working against it. It's not the most accurate. It's not the fastest firing, I don't think. It might have been the fastest firing. But I don't know how this map is laid out anymore. I forgot that he could do that. But yeah, like, it was just a good, solid medium tank gun instead of this shitty heavy tank gun intended for a tank 2 tiers below it. This is a workable gun on an IS. This is... Yeah, actually, it's a workable gun on the IS. It's not even a workable gun on the T-44. It's, like, objectively the wrong gun choice for the T-44. Oh, are you shitting me, motherfucker? Do that again. Do it again. Come on. Do it again. And you'll see, this guy's alpha is just as fucking high as mine is. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. I need to attract him. Oh, I'm alone up here. Nice. Totally unsupported. Like, really, I just need to focus on holding him and hoping his team don't push in behind him, which is going to be the scary thing. Yep, he penned me. And I bounce. Oh, no, he didn't pen me, sorry. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Fuck, 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 fuck. And now he's gonna rush me. And my team are just gonna sit there and do nothing. Oh, fuck's sake. I have no support. I have a single Udes 03 and he's just sitting around. Fuck's sake! Why? So, what's this team going to do now? Are they going to win in town? I don't think so. Or they might actually. They've got a numbers advantage there. A slight numbers advantage. Might move this over a bit. But yeah, you can see how quickly I get pissed off at this. This is why I don't play anymore. It's just not fun. It's frustrating. Yeah, they're not winning town. We're gonna lose this. We're actually gonna lose this. I can't even chat mad shit anymore, because all chat's disabled. Nice. So here's the thing, right? Actually adding those buildings to the map up where I died. If I can get back to my... Ooh, hang on. These buildings, like, this is a good thing. This map has been drastically improved by this. But it doesn't help if no one's gonna fucking push. Because as you can see, I mean, for, what? A good several minutes, it was only me and the standard B. So it's not like there was anything pushing here. And there were people sitting up there just doing nothing. They weren't taking shots on the standard, they were doing nothing. All I was doing was trying to keep him lit and discourage him from pushing, and then once this fucking Wheezy pushed around the corner, that was the end of it, because I had no support. Like, I had this flank open to my team for so fucking long, and no one pushed. We have... how many mediums do we have? The E50M, he pushed up, but he was pretty late game when he did it. Okay, so we don't have many mediums, fair enough, but neither did the enemy team. And we have some good aggressive heavies. Like, just give me one of those 257s, and we could have got something happening on this flank and hooked around. Now, by some miracle, these guys have actually pulled it out. I guess actually by some miracle, Stormer has pulled it out, being in a light tank, doing all the work. But it shouldn't be... Oh my god. It shouldn't come down to something that close. You should not throw all your chips on one flank like that. That is just such a stupid fucking idea. Isn't it funny how I only ever tilt this badly on stream when I'm playing this game? Mysterious. I wonder why that happens. Of course, with that said, if my 430 hadn't have been fucked by Wargaming, just for the sake of turning it into a worse Wheezy 120, I could have easily held that corner by myself, because I would have been able to permatrack the standard B and kill it by myself, and then permatrack and kill the Wheezy fucking whatever it was, Wheezy 111 FG or GT or whatever. Permatrack and kill that by myself because the 430 could do that. Like, that used to be its specialty, was pushing into aggressive positions and just permatracking tanks and killing them while bouncing whatever they threw at it. But it can't do that anymore because it fires slowly, its shells bounce a lot, they don't usually hit where they're aimed, and it doesn't do damage. So every positive attribute of that tank, basically, except its camouflage, is gone. And its camouflage doesn't really help much anymore because there's the high-tier scouts, which are so capable, mixed with high-tier TDs. So you can cloak your way right into the enemy base, but as soon as you get lit by one of those light tanks, boy, you are dead. I don't even know where to go on this map anymore. I can't go hill because I just don't have gun depression. But at the same time, apparently going west is a really bad idea now as well. Oh, sorry, no. What am I talking about? This isn't Tundra, this is Corellia. I didn't even recognize the map. I could have gone hill, but yeah, no, let's not. Hill doesn't even work very well anymore in this tank, I found. Again, because of the shit gun. There are so many situations where the Object 430 used to really shine and be a standout tank, and it's either mediocre or bad now in those situations because of the gun change. And it's not just a gun change from one type of gun to another, it's like a whole class of gun change. You've gone from a high rate of fire, low alpha, high pen gun with high shell velocity to a slow firing, kind of mediocre alpha, inaccurate gun with very low shell velocity, so you can't snapshot anymore. That was a heat round off that T-54. I shouldn't be surprised. Oh no, sorry, that wasn't the T-54 that hit me, that was the T-10. Firing heat out of a T-10, what the fuck? Why? The T-10 has really good AP, why would you fire heat? Oh, I know why, because you're bad, and you just assume that firing heat at everything makes you good, because that's what the purples do, except it's not. It's not something the purples have ever done, unless you count Chai, I guess. Could have taken at least 2 shots at his side there while he was crossing if I had my U8TS. Didn't even get one off with this thing. Low roll, 360 damage from a tier 9 medium. Right. It's not going to do it. He's behind a berm anyway. I'm actually kind of really badly out of position here. I'm going to chance crossing, but it's not a good idea. Oh, what the fuck? No, I'm not. What are these guys in the middle doing? Oh, please respot them. Please respot. Shit. Be careful I don't get rolled up by these guys northwest. And now this guy's going to back in front of me and totally block my shots. Right as the Super Conqueror gets lit. Nice. Now he's going to get killed. Yeah, this one's over. Fuck, that missed. Oh, that didn't. I'm toast. And that missed. Yep. There it is. Shitty gun cost me my tank and probably the game. At least I got him. Fuck, we got no eyes over there. Behind a rock by now, of course. Actually, he's out of my render distance, that's why I can't see him. If that 251 lights me, I'm dead. Probably gonna die anyway, but, you know. Try and wait for this guy to get side on to me. Should have enough camera to my front to avoid getting lit by him if I fire, but I still do have those guys rolling up behind. Oh, T10's gonna see me. Oh no, 251 is. I'm dead. Yep, there it goes. Oh, it's Nistro. How much damage was that even? Wouldn't have been much. If it even opens the post-game screen. 14-16 in a tier 9. Where's my Bromwell? There's my Bromwell. Ah, yes, the World of Tanks NA server, complete with fucking toxic as shit chat before anyone even starts getting tilted by the game.
Target acquired.
Love it.
Enemy is hit.
Oh, move.
Target
No.
unlocked. Permission to engage.
Fuck! Why did he do that? Why would you cut in front of a teammate when it... Ah, god damn it. I'm so lucky that missed. That sounded like a fucking KV2.
Got him.
It was a KV2. How is he up there? More to the point, how's he going to get down from there? Okay, I don't want to really play with that KV2. So I'm not going to. I don't want to get proxy lit by these guys, because I'm quite certain they're going to have a JT-88 sitting in their spawn. Or overlooking their spawn, I should say. Oh shit, KV2 coming up. The JT is here. Interesting. It's an interesting play. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Oh, fuck.
Great shot.
Oh, how did he bounce?
Permission to engage. The engine's smoking.
Can I parachute down without killing myself? Probably not.
Target locked.
Fuck, 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 fuck.
The radio operator's injured. We can't rely on him. The turret rig is damaged. We can barely turn it.
I'm gonna get sniped in the side by the 12T if one of these two doesn't kill me first.
Enemy armor is hit.
Yep.
We done for. Everyone, get out.
Отказ систем. Смотри экран.
Hey Quickscoping, thanks for the follow. Just in case you're not aware, this is not a usual thing for me. I don't usually play World of Tanks anymore. I kind of gave it up years and years ago. Most of what you'll see on this channel at the moment is Digital Combat Simulator with some Arma 3 mixed in and occasionally some other stuff. Bit of Tarkov, bit of Squad and Postscriptum. So I'm mostly into shooters and simulators. I did used to play World of Tanks a lot, a hell of a lot, back in about, well, basically from closed beta, so 2010 through till 2014, 2015 I stopped playing regularly, and I don't really play much since. Do occasionally play World of Warships, but not that often. Ah, you remember the good old days. Oh, I miss them. I miss when we could slag off the enemy team in all chat, and when TDs weren't as prolific as they are now. And when we all got to laugh at Garbad because he kept getting killed by artillery for making bad plays. And when medium tank drivers were actually aggressive. That is probably the worst thing I've noticed since I've started playing again, is that medium tank drivers aren't aggressive anymore, and when they are, the rest of the team doesn't support them. It's like Sofi said to me just, like, what, 2 matches ago, 1 match ago or something? Nobody pushes that deep anymore. All I did was just push the corner on highway, which was like the standard play back in the day. No one does that anymore, apparently. Pushing the opposite corner on Malinovka, no one does that anymore. Pushing the hill on mines, no one does that anymore. Leaving spawn, apparently, is haram. Even when you don't have half your team composed of high tier TDs. I guess the mindset's just sunk in. Like, you change the balance of power in the game and you change the way people play it, even in the absence of the thing that changed the way it plays. Okay, tier 8. May as well play this thing. Do I have a decent crew in this? Not really, but it's workable. I think I played this tank like twice. Should be able to make this map work. I've only played it, I think, twice since they reworked it. I never liked this map when they introduced it, but since the rework, there's at least some places where I can hold down. Should play out nicely in the scent, hopefully. Pretty cool to still see you around. Yeah, it's... I mean, I originally got my Twitch account purely so I could shit up Hardest's chat. That's the only reason I am on Twitch at all. For a long time, I wanted to stream World of Tanks, but I just couldn't, which is why I uploaded like half a bazillion replays to YouTube, just because that was my only alternative to streaming. I just didn't have the internet for it. Then when I finally did get the internet for it, I didn't play World of Tanks anymore, so... Like I said, I do stream other stuff, but it took me quite a while to really get into Twitch for any reason other than just when I was playing with Hardest or Primal or anyone like that. I kind of forgot that I was a mod in on Sofi's channel until about a week ago, and I was in chat and I was like, oh, I have a sword. I completely forgot about that. Oops. Eldritch pleb mod, not pleb anymore because someone gifted me a sub, but I haven't been able to ban anyone yet. I'm kind of sad about that. I want to dust off the old hammer after 5 years of it sitting gathering dust. I mean, I'm a totally reliable and non-abusive mod who totally wouldn't just ban people for the sake of it. Oh boy. Some exciting gameplay right here. Ah! God damn it. Wheelie boy too fast. Fuck's sake. That thing is so quick. Hey, molecules. Yep, afternoon here. Yeah, no, that's a bad idea. I shouldn't do that. It's just proxy spotting all of us, which is a good play on his part. And our Lanson's gonna suicide to kill him. I mean, we need him dead, but we probably shouldn't lose a high tier medium for it. In fact, we're probably gonna lose 2 high tier mediums to do it, because this Carnarvon's gonna take me apart. He's perma-tracking me. I'm so glad they got rid of 8.6 accuracy. You know, I hated actually hitting what I was pointing my gun at. I really hated it. It's so much better now that I just basically throw some dice across the room, whether I hit or not, regardless of the size of my aim circle, or how long I've been aiming for. That was a really bad mechanic change. Like, undoing that was so stupid. Not quite as stupid as making Artie stun, but pretty close. Cool. I think I'm rapidly reaching the limit of my World of Tanks tolerance at this point. I need to go get some food actually, so this might be a pretty short stream. I will be back on later regardless how much longer I spend doing this. I'll be back on later doing some DCS. Flying the F-14, and maybe some SU-27 or SU-33 in there as well. I don't like this map. I still don't like it. I didn't like it when it was first added, and I don't like it now. I actually feel like the 430, even as it stands now, would have a better chance on this map, just because it's so squat and fast. So you can at least weave in and out of the buildings. Yeah, thanks, Quickscoping. It's been good seeing you too. And I might catch you around at some point. Probably not in World of Tanks, though. I think our team's got this at least. Favorite tank platooners. Oh jeez. I mean, I might not have been able to provide skilled gameplay, but I could certainly provide rage. And so could Hardest, although he could provide more skilled gameplay than I could. I do miss that. I miss that quite a lot. Actually, the reason I reinstalled this was because Prime Law was streaming it, and I thought, shit, if Prime Law's getting back into tanks, I might as well. And then he played like one day and just stopped. I got debated back into tanks. I wish I could remember who it was that made the fucking Photoshop of the Doom cover with me and Hardest on it, because I would so set that as like a fucking channel background or something. That was such a good meme. Oh, Colin! Yeah, I remember you. Just didn't recognize the new name. Yep. At least it's a win, which I contributed nothing to. I did 1 shot's worth of damage. And it was a low roll. Yeah, a bunch of people that still play have changed their names, so I can't really keep track anymore. I think one of my pubby friends that it was a pubby friend that I made on Hardest stream because I bitched him out for like 10 minutes after the game, and we reached a point of mutual understanding that our problem wasn't with each other, it was with everyone else on our team, and we became pretty good friends and used to play quite often together. He has changed his name at least 5 times, and I have no idea who he is anymore, like on my friends list. No clue at all. Do I want to take my precious Centurion out and ruin my stats? I mean, I'm already ruining my stats on everything else. Fuck it. Why not? With my fucking 5 skill crew. Well, yeah, 4.5. Oh boy, Fjords. Now, I have played this like 2 or 3 times recently, and they've changed it to the point where I don't know how to play it anymore. So this should be interesting. I'm gonna go north because I have gun depression, and there is a hill up north, but that's about the limit of my plan so far. Officer Beepski. Well, you'll enjoy my chatbot then, because I named him Beepski. Although I probably should have made it Comrade Beepski, just to fit in. I think I'll do that when I can finally rename him in 3 months, I think. I don't remember.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in the position of the average puppy now, where, like, you know how I used to extol the fact that the reason puppies are so bad at this game is because they literally don't know what they're doing and don't have a plan and don't know where shots are going to come from, so everything is just by default a surprise to them. So they're caught in this trap where they're only ever reactive and they have no proactive sense of doing anything. That's me right now. Because I'm still trying to play this game as if it's 2013, and I keep dying because I rush into positions that are really good, strong positions if your team supports you, which they don't. Or if the enemy team isn't 3/4 tier 10 TDs, which it usually is now, so doesn't work anymore. I mean, at least we're top tier in this, which isn't saying a whole lot for tier 9s, but... wonder if they actually nerfed this thing's view distance. They might have. I don't have a range readout anymore. I should probably fix that. Range? Yes, range? Nope! Okay, I guess we don't have ranging anymore. Cool beans. I hate knowing how far away things are from me. I'm gonna get smacked in the face for doing this, but whatever. Yeah.
Let's locate another target. Ready to fire. Let's locate another target. Enemy armor is hit.
Still got the good gun on this thing though. See, if the Object 430 had a gun that was as capable of accurate long-range snapshots as either its old gun or this gun, it has the same alpha as this gun. Like, just give it the fucking T-54 gun, or give it the U8TS back, but balance it by nerfing something else. The D25T at tier 9 is unacceptable. Just totally unacceptable. And I don't want to have to stop playing the Object 430 because it's not good anymore. Or, like, not good, but not fun. Part of what made the 430 fun was that you could play really aggressively and throw caution to the wind and just fucking face hug people and get away with it. Can't do it anymore. You've got to play really fucking conservatively, which you should not ever have to do in a Soviet medium. So I'm going to do a stupid, and I'm going to cross an open field rather than go through the screened approach on the right. Just because I want to get over here in a hurry and come down on this guy's flank. Hey, buddy! Oop, 0 damage track. Hey, buddy! Yes, ram me, please. I love when people ram my Centurion.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Now, can I climb this in the Cent? No. Not even the Cent can climb that. The 430 V2? No, the original 430. The 430 OG, which was the tier 10, and is now literally just a shittier Wheezy 120. Like, the 430 variant 2 is, as far as I can tell, basically the same as it always was, and it was always a good tank, it was just a weird one to play. But my boy, the Object 430, look how they massacred my boy. Oh, that was a bad shot to take. And now I'm caught reloading. Oh, that's alright. Let's ram this guy. I don't think he realizes how much I weigh. Boom! Okay, I guess maybe I'll just keep playing the Centurion. I seem to be back in my swing with this thing. Maybe because it forces me to play less aggressively. Yeah, it does 390. Exactly. If it had the alpha of the Wheezy 120, it would be a totally acceptable change. Like, if it had that gun, the Object 430 as it is now would be good. But it doesn't. It has a shitty D25T with better pen than a normal D25T, but still, like, its alpha is unacceptable for its low rate of fire and its shitty gun handling. If you're going to give it a D25T, give it better gun handling. Because there is not a single medium tank in the game that the D25T is an actually good gun on, unless you count maybe like the T-34-2. It's not even good on the T-34-3. So you go from the best medium tank gun in the entire game, hands down, to the worst, basically. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see you've changed your name in-game. Hey! I did something that game! To be fair, this was always one of my best tanks. Like, this was pretty much tied with the Wheezy 120 and the Object 430 as my favourite tank in the game. Let's take the Bromwell out for another spin. The Bromwell's a really good tank, it's just squishy. And fast, so I tend to get a bit carried away with it. Oh, that's right, they put the T50-2 back in the game. I forgot about that. I remember before physics, the T50-2 was fun. It was an absolute terror. I did have a video of just harassing heavy tanks over the course of an entire game with that on Erlenberg, I think it was. But unfortunately, back then my PC was somewhat obsolescent, and I got like 2 frames a second, so it wasn't worth uploading. I think I did upload it anyway, but... Oh boy, Mountain Pass.
Let's get this show on the road.
I'm almost tempted to cross. Almost. I can't even lock the guy. I can't hold my mouse over him. Too old for this shit. Okay, let's see. Try and get a cheeky on him. No. Although he didn't see me do that, which is interesting. I really want an EBR. It looks like so much fun, and it's so adorable. But I also don't want to ever spend money on this game again. And I can't afford it anyway. Oh dear. The amount of time and money I sunk into this game over the years, I should probably own like a 51% share in Wargaming, to be honest. He's behind a bit of a berm, so I can't tag him. The fuck is a KV-2R? God damn it. There we go. Hey, it gives you damage feedback on blind shots. Nice. And I killed him. Yeet. Ooh. Probably should have let that aim in a bit more. Oh, don't move, don't move. There we go. Right, time to cross, if I can get down here without killing myself. Okay, what's the T-29 doing? Oh, he's giving side. Oh, yes please. Show me them side skirts, baby. Oh, he's gonna aim at me, really? Probably has XVM running. I'm gonna go ahead and guess he's running XVM. Which actually reminds me, they were gonna make it so you could hide your stats, weren't they? What happened to that? Is that a thing yet? Because I want to do that. I've had so many people focus fire me since I've started playing again, just because of my old stats. Like, I'm not good at this game anymore. I'm not worth focus firing. They still do it. Didn't do a whole lot of damage, but at least I killed something, I guess. Probably should have actually brought my Firefly, because it would cause me to play less aggressively. Also super bad at the game now. Yeah, I think most of us probably are. Like, the only ones who are going to still be good at this game are the ones that never quit, and don't have that gap. Like, trying to adjust to the new playstyle and the new mechanics and everything like that is atrocious. Even though some of the maps literally have not changed. Just the fact that people don't play as aggressively anymore, and you will not get support as a medium if you push up, it basically fucks me, because my entire playstyle was based around recklessly aggressive medium play. I have nothing else. That was my sole gimmick. That is the only thing I could ever do. Aggressive mediums and fast heavies. Don't mind me, I'm just tabbing out, because here in the land of the poor I only have one monitor. I'd like a second monitor, but I can't afford it and I haven't got desk space anyway. Oh, I suppose I could fit one in. It would kind of overhang my kitchen bench, but whatever. So I'm reading chat on my phone, which is why I keep looking down. This one could go either way. There we go. This little thing is so goofy. Sad they nerfed the 304 as well. The 304 used to be such stupid fun to play. It's like the only artillery piece I ever actually enjoyed playing. Rip. Uh-oh. Oh no! He hesitated too long. He should have just rushed it. It wouldn't have been able to keep up with him. Could have totally got around its flank. Two tanks to get for the frontline missions going. Special camera, email 2, and some T10. Okay. I've just not bothered with any of the missions, to be honest. I did finally get my T28 prototype, so I'm technically doing the missions for the T55, which I always wanted, but I'm not getting them done because I'm bad at the game, I don't play very often, and I just kind of don't care anymore. It's not much point having the T55 if I don't play the game, and I mean, I don't even play War Thunder that much, but I can get a T55 in that. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have to stick to tanks that discourage me from doing my usual aggressive play, at least for now. So, things like the Scent. Otherwise, I'm just going to like rush in and die every single time, because I don't know any better. Frontline's a special half-year-long mission. Yeah, nah, fuck that. I haven't got the patience for that shit anymore. Yeah, fuck it. We'll take the Firefly. Don't know anyone who can grind the missions for me. Just need to make up 2 missions worth, and I can almost be there. I'm still pissed off about the T22 because by the time I tried to get in on that, it was too late, and every other fucking clan, all the puppy clans, had fucking sock puppeted their accounts to get the T22, and you basically could not get it the legit way unless you had no job and no life, right? And you'd come up against, because it was a company thing, you had to find another company that was actually going to fight. Most of them weren't interested in fighting, they were just trying to get their fucking tanks, so they wouldn't actually put up enough of a struggle to get the fucking missions. So, yeah, that was kind of what totally killed my interest in getting missions done. That was so bullshit. And then not only that, but they didn't take them away from the people who could be conclusively proven to have cheated the system to get their tanks, and then they stopped anyone else from getting the tank as well. Like, they straight up just removed the ability to get it. And the people that got it through that bullshit still have it, and still play it. I saw a T22 just the other day. Grinding a stock conquer and it sucks shit. Yeah, the conk's stock grind is atrocious, but once you get it kitted out, it's a really solid tank. I really, really enjoyed the Conqueror. And it was a good heavy for someone like me who's more used to playing mediums, because it's mobile enough that I could use it. Not like a medium, but in a more mobile role than I was used to in heavies. And it had just enough armor to bounce things and a big enough gun to leave a mark. So I did use it, I suppose, as kind of a very big, slow medium tank, and it worked, mostly. The gun handling really helped too. Oh, I don't have 6th Sense on this crew, apparently. That would have been good to know before I drove up here. That would have been really good to know before I drove up here. Fuck's sake. Well, there goes a third of my health to do nothing. I don't even know why I went this way. I should have gone the other way. Imagine a world where Erlenberg is not a shit-awful map. Even after they changed it around. Like, I'm not even sure what I can do here. If I roll out this side, I'm gonna get shot from across those trees. I'm kind of tempted to do it anyway, just to try and get some damage in, but it's a bad idea. And there's a fucking Yag Panther right off my front, so I better not. Yeah, you're right, that world doesn't exist. Ah, yes! I'm dead. Holy fuck, how did that bounce? Can we do it? Can we get a 0 damage game? I think I'm about to. Doesn't help that we're in a tier 8 match, because the game's been out so long that every puppy has high tier tanks, and once puppies get high tier tanks, that's all they play. I mean, to be fair, that's basically all I play as well, because all my favourite tanks are high tier, except for a couple of comedy options, but still, it's just frustrating. And Wargaming won't actually do anything decent about the matchmaking, so it's permanently skewed. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, I don't know how to play these maps anymore. And our team's pretty much lost the entire map. So we're bottled up in one corner of it. Like, once this happens, once your team is in this situation, even if you aren't missing a third of your team, you could have your full team, but if you've given 3/4 of the map to the enemy, you've lost. Like, I've seen a handful of games in both this and Warships where a team recovered from that. Usually, once you've given away more than half of the map to the enemy, you've lost the game, no matter what you do. And people just don't understand that. Bounce, really?
Crack hit.
Yeah.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
Yeah, hope and optimism gone. Launch at 4 PM, by the way. 10,000 IQ. So, after the next match, I'm going to, like I said just there, I'm gonna cut the stream, go get myself something to eat, and probably in somewhere between 2 and 4 hours, I will be streaming again, but I'll be streaming DCS, probably the F-14, maybe some flanker. And that's something that is a lot less frustrating. It has its moments, but it's a lot less likely to tilt me. And it's something I'm equally bad at. That's right, people are getting like boxes and shit for finishing missions. Yeah, nah, I'm not doing that anymore. I got a couple of boxes out of the, I think it was the Christmas event or the New Year's event or whatever it was, and that was it. Tier 7. Let's play this. This is relatively idiot-proof. At least I got a good map for this tank. Shitty matchmaking for it though. I have 2 jobs and not a lot of time to play, so I just jump ahead and get what I want. Yeah, I'm between jobs at the moment, so I don't have a lot of money, and even if I did, it'd be spent on DCS modules and gifting people subs in other channels rather than on model tanks. But yeah, my last job was just getting unbearable. It was being incredibly badly mismanaged, and I was getting a shitload more workload than I should have been expected to do, and I just got sick of it and quit. I'm not the kind of person that handles, like, I work hard, but I don't like working harder than I should have to, and I have a very good sense of what I should and shouldn't have to do. And because I live in a pretty cheap flat and I don't spend all that much in the grand scheme of things, I've got no outstanding loans other than my student loans, I don't own a car, I don't have any kids or a missus, so I don't spend much money. So I could afford to work like 15, 16, maybe 20 hours a week, and that was as many hours as I wanted or needed. So when I started getting slapped with 40-hour weeks, I got real tired of it real fast. I just cannot do the full-time work thing. I fucking hate it. Sorry to hear it. Yeah, that happens. I'm not real good at holding down jobs anyway. So I tend to hop from one to the next and just ride it out for as long as I can tolerate it. Usually I don't last more than 6 months, so that one was just under 2 years all up, with a break in the middle though. A lot of it was down to other staff members I had to deal with. Just a mixture of incompetence and malice. and the only thing that makes me hate work more than trying to force me to work full-time is when I'm forced to work with really obnoxious, shitty people in a toxic environment. Funny, isn't it, that someone who used to fucking make World of Tanks so toxic doesn't like a toxic environment? Big think. Oh, come on. Fucking hit his wreck. Oh, come on! Bruh! Oh, shit. Alright. So we should pretty easily have this in the bag. If I was in a medium, and I had some, well, we do have mediums in this platoon, but if this was the old days, I would have just gone straight down the fucking one line, because that was how you won this map in a medium platoon in the old days, because nobody expected it. Pubbies just could not handle that. Oh, that's a big tank. I want to stay away from that. Okay, I'll just push up behind the defender, I guess. Use him as a fucking meat shield. That's a bad shot. Please focus the defender. He's the bigger threat. Ignore me. Don't mind me and my little IS. Totally not worth worrying about, guys. Just want to get some damage in. Please, damage. Come on. Problem is that defenders, or not defender, the fucking VK100 is going to spot me as soon as I cross. Yep. So the E50 is going to have advance warning that I'm flanking him, and when I get around to shooting him, he's going to be pointing his front at me. Yeah. His front, which I cannot easily pen. Oh, but he's an idiot. He's going to let me get beside him. Okay, well. 10,000 IQ. Oh, he's scraped me off. And this guy's oblivious. Hey, this is actually a good match. 2600 damage in the IS. I'll take it. Although I was pretty much just fucking playing Vulture there. So I guess it doesn't really count. Tier 8 VK is stupid easy to play, yeah. Seems it. Just put it behind a building and sit there. Top XP. Right. Don't even think I have premium at the moment. I actually let my premium lapse in World of Tanks for like the first time in nearly 10 years. Pretty sad. Whatever happened to Hardest? He's still around. Every now and then he comments on one of my YouTube videos, or I see him pop up somewhere else. I think he commented on one of my videos like 2-3 months ago, something like that. It was really recent, because I was like, oh shit, Hardest still around. But he doesn't play tanks anymore, as far as I can tell. He doesn't stream anymore. He doesn't really have a big online presence these days, at least not in the usual circles. So I don't know what he's up to, but he does seem to be up to something. So At least there's that. We know he's going some kind of all right. Bunch of other people from back then are still playing or kind of come and go. Like I said, Prime Law kind of baited me into getting the game reinstalled and then vanished again. Sofi has never stopped playing, I think. I've only recently come back to Twitch. For quite a number of years, I didn't get on Twitch at all. I basically stopped going on Twitch when Hardest stopped streaming, and Prime Law and Hellsaw and all the others. So I stopped using Twitch, and then when I finally moved here and had internet good enough to stream, I started streaming. I'd do occasionally some tanks, some warships, and mostly I just use my Twitch for Arma 3 stuff. So I'd stream whenever the 345th did a mission or whenever we played Anti-Stasi. And it's only probably since like October-ish I've actually started getting into streaming on a more consistent basis. I'm not going to say like professional, because I'm not. I don't have a schedule. I'm not a professional streamer by any stretch. But yeah, I kind of locked into it. I found that the DCS community on Twitch is really, really helpful. So I had another Australian DCS streamer drop in with all his viewers, and before I knew it, I had my own little community growing. So that's my mainstay at the moment, is DCS, Arma 3 when we play it, bit of squad, bit of postscriptum. And probably within the last 2 or 3 months, I've actually started sitting and watching other streamers on Twitch as well. Because initially I didn't really watch other people stream very often. But between the DCS guys and then I started watching Sweetenita's videos on YouTube, then I came to Twitch, and then like her whole social circle is like really wholesome and nice to hang around with, which kind of offsets how pissed off I get at games. So that worked out nicely for me. So I'm actually on Twitch pretty often now. I have been streaming not quite every day, but pretty close to every day recently, just because I've got nothing better to do at the moment. When I do find some new work, I'm going to probably see if I can drop back to like 3 or 4 days a week and work out a proper schedule. Anyway, I'm starving, so I'm going to go get myself some food and munch on that food, and then probably be playing DCS within 3-4 hours, somewhere in that range. So if you guys are still up and want to see me failing horribly in the F-14, by all means, you are welcome to come join me again. Otherwise, I will catch you next time. I'll see if there's someone... Oh, of course there's someone I can host. Sofi's still streaming. What am I saying? So I'll send you guys over her way. Sofi is much better at this game now than I think I ever was. So that's a bit of a tables of turn situation, because I used to have to carry her sometimes back when we used to play together, and now she's carrying me. It's good to see, though. Yeah, I'll send you guys her way, and I'll catch you next time.